start out this look taping my eyes at an angle to get that sharp, crisp line, and then I'm going to go in and prime them with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This just hides any flaws or discoloration on my lid, and I just really have been liking using this as my base. And then I just kind of use my finger to pat it out and cover the entire shape and surface area of my lid. And then I'm going into the Too Faced Natural Love palette using the shade Heaven, and I'm setting my entire lid with that, making sure that there's no tackiness left over. And then I'm going in with the shade Spotlight, and I'm using my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush and blending that into the crease and up towards the brow bone. These colors are a little bit difficult to blend out. I've really never used this palette before, so I'm kind of just winging this. And then I went in with the shade Honey Butter, and I stuck a little tighter to the crease, still blending up towards the brow bone. And then I'm starting to build up the color on the outer corner, as you can see. And I'm still using the Sigma E40 blending brush. Then I went into the shade Nudie, and I'm starting to stick closer to the crease and outer corner with this. And I'm using my Bdellium Tools 776 brush to blend that out. It's just a tapered brush, so as long as you're using a tapered blending brush, it will help you get this look. And again, I really had to build up that color, so I had to go in a couple times to really build up that pigmentation. I know a lot of people struggled with that issue with this palette. I went back in with the E40 brush and the shade Spotlight just to kind of diffuse the outer edges and make sure there's no harsh lines. And then I went in with the shade Makeup and Chill with a tapered Smashbox blending brush, and I kind of focused it on the outer corner and tight into the crease, and just sort of blended that out until everything was nice and smooth, and again there was no harsh lines. And using that same brush, I went in with the shade Night Fever as well, and I started building that up on the outer corner using the same brush. So you'll see me start to incorporate that shade once the Makeup and Chill is completely blended out. And I really took my time with this because, like I said, it was really difficult to blend out a lot of these shades. So this Night Fever shade has a little bit of shimmer, but it was a little bit darker than the Makeup and Chill, and I needed something to kind of transition into the next shade, which is going to be Stiletto. So I'm using a Luxy 231 small blending brush, and I'm just focusing this on the outer corner and blending it nicely into the other shades. And then I went back in with the shade Makeup and Chill just to kind of blend in that black into the lid color. Then I went in with the Stila Magnificent Metals in the shade Molten Midnight, and I'm placing that, basically making a half cut crease with this. So first I applied it to my lid, and then I ended up taking a Sigma angled brush and cutting out the shape of that. Then I went back into the shade Night Fever just to help blend in that glittery color with the outer corner color. And then I'm going in with my Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner. This is the first time that I used it, and I was really happy with it. The only thing is that it's not completely matte when it dries, so that was kind of an issue for me, but other than that, it applied really, really well. So I'm applying my wing, and then once the wing is done, I'm just kind of peeling the tape away. If you struggle with liquid eyeliner, I highly suggest using that. And then I'm using my Clarins Super Volume Mascara just to apply before I put my lashes on. And then the lashes that I use are the Ardell Double Up Demi W lashes. So then I'm going to my skin. I'm using the Peter Thomas Roth Mattifying Anti-Shine Gel, and I'm just placing this kind of where all my pores are and where I tend to get oily throughout the day. And then I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime all around the areas of my face that I didn't put the gel, just to have a nice little base for the foundation. And I'm going to be using the Lancome Tint Idol foundation, and I'm using my Sigma Kabuki brush. This one is the oh my gosh, I can't remember, like the F83 brush, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the description, but this one's really good for kind of putting the foundation on the outer perimeters of your face. And then I went in with the 3D HD Kabuki brush to apply on the inner part of my face into those little crevices that are difficult to get in with a regular brush. So I really liked using these brushes to apply the foundation. And then I went back in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to give a little brighter effect on the center of my face. And then I'm going to use my Real Techniques blending sponge to blend out that concealer, and I'm just using little patting motions instead of sweeping it to keep it concentrated in these areas that we put the concealer. And then once that was all blended out, I went in with my Graftobian translucent setting powder, and I set everywhere with the sponge that I put the concealer. So you'll see me put it on my under eye, I put it on the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, my forehead. And then once that was completely set, I just really lightly went in with a big fluffy powder brush to just set the rest of my face to make sure that it was no more tackiness from the foundation or anything like that. I'm going into the Kevyn Aucoin contour book, and I'm using the creamy contour shade, and I'm using it as my contour, using a sponge to apply it first, and then going back in with that Sigma 3D HD brush to blend it out. This brush seriously blended it out perfectly and flawlessly, and I really liked the way that it turned out. And then once I was finished with that, I basically just set it with the powder that's in this contour book and then a fluffy brush, just to make sure there was no tackiness and to make sure that the cream contour stayed in place all day. And then I went in with the Sigma Core de Rosa Aura powder as a blush. Looking back on it, I'm not super happy with that decision. I think that the blush was just like a little bit too warm for me. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah. And then I went in with the Ofra Cosmetics Nikkie Tutorials Everglow bronzer and highlight, and I just basically applied the top two colors, not the dark bronzy color, and so I just highlighted my face with that. And then I went in with that Makeup and Chill shade and the Sigma E55 eyeshadow shader brush and just kind of smoked out the lower lash line. And I applied it a couple times. I really wanted it to be nice and smoked out. And then of course I went in at the end and I added some mascara on my lower lash line. And then I went in on my lips and I used the shade Posy K from Kylie Cosmetics. And that is it for this look, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.